Welcome back. My name is Athena from Dreamforge Academy, and I will guide you through this lesson. Your server answers. You pasted the URL into your assistant, signed in, ticked consent, and watched your real data come back. It felt like the finish line. Now open a terminal and send one request carrying no token. If it returns 200, every tool you've written has been reachable by anyone with the URL since the day you deployed. Your logs look normal. The assistant you tested still works. Nothing anywhere says the word wrong. 4 checks settle it. They take about 90 seconds, and you run them against production. One default starts the chain, the wrapper option called required defaults to false. With that default, a request carrying no token is never handed to your verifier, the tools just run, so no 401 ever goes out. The client never learns that authentication exists here, so it never starts sign-in, so no one ever sees a consent screen. And every assistant you test with keeps working because they'll happily call an endpoint that never challenges them. You built an authorization server, a consent page, scopes, and a revoke button, then shipped a route that walks past all of it. 4 rules, and each one closes a door. Set required to true, the default fails open. When verification fails, return undefined, that's what produces a real 401 with a challenge. An error object returns 200 instead, and an assistant reads that as an ordinary tool failure and moves on, so sign-in never starts. Check issuer and audience together. Issuer says the token came from your server, audience says it was minted for this resource and not a sibling one. And take the acting person from the token. A tool argument is just a string, and the text that triggered the call may be a web page or an email the person never wrote. The whole gate fits in one block. Required true is the line that must be explicit. The verifier returns undefined on both failure paths, no token, and a token that doesn't verify. Undefined is what sends the 401. The verify step checks issuer and audience together, and the audience is the exact resource URL with no trailing slash. Notice where the user id ends up, on the verified context, not in the arguments. Then make it structural. Your wrapper pulls that user id out of the context and passes it to the tool body as a plain parameter, and nothing else. The body can't read an id from an argument because it never sees one. Run these against the deployment you care about in order. First, no token. The answer must be 401, and anything else stops everything else. Second, read the challenge header that comes back with it. It must contain resource metadata and a scope list that includes your right scope, not just read. Some libraries advertise only the scopes you gate on, and then no client ever learns writing exists. Third, send a made-up bearer token, then one with the algorithm set to none. Both must be refused. Fourth, write a test that passes a hostile user id as an argument and assert the tool body still received the token's user. Marcus runs a 5-person kitchen fitting firm. He added MCP over a weekend, and on Tuesday a friend asked what happens with no token. He got a 200 and a list of tool names, 4 days of serving his customer list to the open internet, fixed by one word. His quote tool also took a customer id, until a supplier email politely asked his assistant to approve a quote. Your assignment: write the 4-check ledger for your own server, plus a 5th line naming the file and line where your tools get the acting user's id, run it against production after every deploy that touches authentication. Thank you for watching. Follow along using the course material and complete the lesson assignment. I will see you in the next lesson.